up, guys? It's your boy Barca boy 103. Today we're gonna be doing the match preview for Real Valladolid versus Barcelona in La Liga. It is the dead rubber we have been waiting for, the game between both these semi-final legs in the Champions League. It is the worst team in the league versus the best team in the league. Very interesting to see how this game does fare. Of course, Barcelona, this is the last game that we do have before the league El Clasico, which of course is huge. So this game does have a lot of meaning to it. When Barcelona go out there and field the full strength team or even a half strength team remains to be seen, but it should be a Barcelona win regardless. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below and let's try and get to 200 likes on this video. It would be very much appreciated. And also, if you are new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Kickoff time for this match will be taking place at 9 p.m. local time, so regular kickoff time in La Liga, and this match will be taking place at the home of Valladolid, the José Zorrilla stadium, where Barcelona of course have not been there this season yet, and with Valladolid going down and being relegated already, this will be the last time we go there in quite some time as well. And the referee for this match has also been confirmed. On the pitch, it'll be Alejandro Munierez Ruiz, and on the VAR it will be Trujero Suarez. Let's start off by taking a look at the league table, where Barcelona are currently sat top of La Liga on 76 points after playing 33 matches. We have 24 wins, 4 draws, 5 losses. You look at our last 5 games in the league, 4 wins, 1 draw, decent record. Real Madrid, of course, on 72 points, 4 points behind us. Same amount of games played with 22 wins, 6 draws, and 5 losses. In their last 5 games in the league, they have 4 wins and 1 loss. We are of course now 10 points ahead of Atletico Madrid in 3rd place, 16 points ahead of Athletic Club in 4th place. Of course, everything now comes down to the league title race. If we took a look at Real Madrid, who will be facing this weekend, they actually play against Celta Vigo at the Bernabeu, but they will be playing on Sunday, so they will know the result of the Barcelona game going to that game, which is quite crazy to think about, that Barcelona since the Copa del Rey final played Inter and Valladolid, and Real Madrid had not played a single game, which shows how ruthless the schedule can be. But this should be a comfortable 3 points for them, not going to be being around the bush. Of course, we saw how dangerous Celta were against us at home. We could hope for the same thing, but usually the teams in La Liga that do well against us don't really do too well against Real Madrid, so I have little to no expectations from Celta and Iago Aspas' team. But again, it's going to come down to the Clasico next week. Even if we lose this game, for example, Madrid win, of course, there's 1 point in it, which means that Madrid can go top of the league if they do win the Clasico. But either way, the Clasico is going to be the big signing factor going into next weekend. That's going to be deciding pretty much who will win La Liga. Let's hope Real Madrid draw some points as well. Earlier before that, the earlier the merrier. We can wrap up the league title as quickly as effectively as possible. That's what we'll take. But again, it's coming down to that League Clasico next weekend. If you take a look at our opponents in Real Valladolid, where they're currently standing in the league table, they are currently sat all the way rock bottom of the league in 20th. After playing 33 matches, they have only 4 wins, 4 draws, 25 losses on 16 points. Their last 5 games have all been losses. They are by far the worst team in the league, and they're so bad to the point they've already officially been confirmed relegated this season. They will most likely 100% finish in 20th place. They have less points than games played. They're by far the worst team in the Spanish First Division this season. Let's now take a look at our opponents in Real Valladolid. Of course, like I mentioned, they're the worst team in the league, so I don't want to drag this part too much. The last time we did face them, of course, was all the way back at the beginning of the season, I think in the beginning of September, where we clapped them 7-0. It's kind of the start of the whole entire arc under Flick, us doing well, becoming the best team in the world. Raphinha hat-trick, Lewandowski scoring, Kounde scoring a banger, Olmo, and Ferran Torres. You can see the lineup, of course, on the right-hand side as well. Basically our strongest team, because we only had 1 game a week at that point, so that was okay. But an absolute thrashing, and thankfully, rightfully so, since they are the worst team in the league. Now, if you take a look at their last 5 games at all competition, and their last match, they lost to Betis 5-1, they lost to Osasuna 3-2, lost to Atletico 4-2, lost to Getafe 4-0, bloody hell, and Sociedad 2-1. Keep in mind that Valladolid have not won a game since January the 16th, and since then they've lost all their games. They have 1 draw, I believe, against Las Palmas. That was at the beginning of March. So this year they have 1 win and 1 draw, so 4 points in total in 2025. So that shows how horrendous they've been. Take a look at the last 3 matches very quickly. I do want to touch upon the Atletico Madrid game because they were, I believe, 1-0 up, and I think they pulled it back to 2-2 as well. They got a penalty which they scored. They caused a bit of problems for Atleti. I think this is off the back of Atleti being knocked out of the Champions League by Real Madrid as well. So of course they were still in the title race a little bit at this point, and they caused some troubles for them. Of course, in the end, Atletico dealt with them 1-4-2, but there were moments where Valladolid didn't make it quite a struggle. So something to very note for in this game when you're at home as well. It's going to be a bit more difficult to compile on that, but something that to be note of in this game tomorrow. The next match is of course a 3-2 loss to Osasuna at home. Bit of a tighter game, and again they can score goals. Valladolid again, that's now 4 goals in the last 2 games so far. So they are a team that can get on the score sheet, but just a team that struggles to win games. Very tight game. Osasuna, of course, I think under the cosh, I believe they were Osasuna were 3-1 up at some point, but definitely a game where you could say Valladolid could have gotten something out of it, but also a one that they probably should have ended up losing as well, because Osasuna are a much better team. So 3-2 loss here, and I wouldn't say comfortably, but probably deservedly over the course of the game from Osasuna. Final match in all competition, of course, 5-1 loss to Betis at the Benito Villamarin. Again, it's just a thrashing at this point. They did, of course, get a goal in this game. I think the goal came when they were at 3-0. Betis, they scored to make it 3-1, so no real comeback was in store per se, but a dominant performance from Betis, and of course beating a team that is the worst team in the league as we expected. So overall, final thoughts on Valladolid. I mean, they're crap. I mean, it's kind of hard to beat around the bush there. They are currently managed by their manager, Alvaro Rubio, who is their 3rd manager this season. He also took up a bit of an interim role in December when they sacked their 1st manager, and now he's got the job on a permanent basis. I mean, is he good? No. Have I heard him before? No. In terms of players to go for as well for Valladolid, not too many players. Of course, have that fullback from Bayern Munich on loan who Barcelona were linked with. I think his name is Adam Azunu. He's a decent talent who we have been linked with, former Barcelona player from the academy as well, currently on loan from Bayern Munich. They have Dara Messi, who I don't know if will be fit for this game, alongside Kennedy as well. It's kind of 2 experienced La Liga players. Apart from that, their team is dead. I mean, there's not a single player that I recognize that I know of after watching 15 years of first flight Spanish football. So it's a team that's I would say super weak on paper, but it should be one that, of course, if we go full strength for, different story. But when we're expecting some rotation, it could be a bit of a banana skin moment if we give them their chance. Of course, I was kind of hoping into this game that they have already been relegated, so that there's no extra fight. Right now, they're just playing for vibes, pretty much. They're already down. There's nothing really to extra fight for. Of course, if they're on the verge of relegation, I'd be a bit more worried they're going to put some fight into, an expected weaker Barcelona team. But with that being said, I think there should be a cruise in the park, and I don't see Valladolid being any threat whatsoever. The only way I can see them being a threat is if we make, of course, defensive mistakes ourselves, or maybe, a Fugazi penalty or something like that. But this team shouldn't be a threat too much. It should be one that even our second string team should go through with ease. Now, heading to this match, we do have some injury updates to take a look for ahead of course, the Clásico and Inter matches next week. Firstly, Angelos Kounde, the club have confirmed he has picked up a hamstring injury in his left thigh from the match of the day against Inter Milan. The reports are saying he'll be out for about 2 or 3 weeks, which was expected when he got the injury, which does mean that he'll be back for the final week of the season. He'll be there for potential Champions League final if we do make it. Last game against Bilbao at the SMS. Villarreal at home maybe, but he'll be out, of course, next week and out for Espanyol derby away from home as well. So we could maybe expect him for that last week of the season. Definitely for a Champions League final if we do make it there, but he's pretty much the season has, one door shut essentially, which sucks, but I think we can hopefully end up surviving without him. Some positive news in regards to injury recoveries. Firstly, Alejandro Balde, the club expects that he will be getting the medical green light later on today. He will travel with the team to Valladolid and is expected to get some minutes. Not start the game, of course, maybe some filler minutes, 10-20 minutes to get him ready for that Inter game. Absolutely huge. Again, do not risk it. I wouldn't start Balde in this game. I don't think Flick will anyways. Give him some peanut minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. Let him get the feel of the ball and the grass and all that mumbo jumbo, but him being back, absolutely vital. Another player that's on the verge of recovering as well is Robert Lewandowski. The reports are saying that he will be in the squad list for Inter next week, so he should probably be fit and ready to go for the Clásico next week. Inter probably won't start the game, but will be in the squad list and maybe come on in the second half. He's kind of a game later than Balde. Balde should be back this weekend, green light, play a little bit, start against Inter. Ludo is the opposite. Green light on Monday, travel with Inter, maybe get some peanut minutes, then maybe start the Clasico over the weekend. So I don't mind Ludo's missing this game, of course. Really want him to be there for Inter. Wait and see. Maybe Flick will take the risk with him. You never know. He of course said that in the press conference after the Inter game today. If he gets green light, means he's fit. So I'll wait and see on that. So hopefully both Lua and Balde should be back for Inter second leg. Only Balde this weekend against Valladolid. And speaking about this game against Valladolid this weekend, there are of course 4 players that are 1 yellow card away from suspension. Of course, the next game is the Clasico, so definitely want to watch out for. Those 4 players are Gavi, Inigo, Raphinha, and Kounde. Of course, Kounde is injured. He'll not be playing the Clasico regardless, and nothing to worry about him. But Raphinha, Ini, Gavi, the 3 players, 1 yellow card away from suspension. If they get a yellow card in this game, they will be suspended for next weekend's match against Real Madrid in the Clasico. Time now to get into the press conference reaction of Hansi Flick, who of course spoke this afternoon at the Deportiva Joan Gamper ahead of this match, giving us a lot of updates not only on this game but also on the second leg against Inter. So let's get and see what the Mr. had to say this afternoon in the presser. First, it came out saying that our goal is to return to the league. The league is the most important thing, but also when we win a title, it's a great achievement because over a long period of time, you have to play on the highest level. He then confirmed in the press conference that the first team captain Marc-Andre ter Stegen will start the game. You'll see in my lineup prediction, I'll have Szczesny. Just ignore that. But ter Stegen will be starting tomorrow. He also said that we take this into consideration, and of course we have to do rotation. Lamine knows what we want from him. He has to be able to show his high level again. Everyone has potential for improvement, and that's also in the case with Lamine. On Balde and Lua, we'll see day by day. We're on the right track with them, but we have to wait and see. The same goes for Casado. He returned today to do some light training sessions, but we don't want to say he's ahead of his recovery or not. We don't want to take any risks whatsoever. Everyone who is available to play will travel. I saw in training the good energy that will be needed for tomorrow's game. You can lose a league because of these kind of games. Valladolid are still in the first division and they will cause us problems. We can improve in defensively, but also in attack. Many people say it's risky play, the way that we play, but it's also how we want to play as well. I always think about what I could say if I was the opposition team's coach. For them, it's great to play against Real Madrid, Barcelona, Athletic Madrid, or Bilbao. That's the reality. The mental spirit and attitude we show tomorrow must be at the same level we showed in the Champions League. It'll be good for Szczesny to get some rest. Mark is doing very well, training very well, and he can play at this level. I'm not thinking about changing anything until the end of the season. After Valladolid, we'll see what happens. So again, not a permanent change there between Szczesny and ter Stegen, just for tomorrow. For now anyways, we will make of course many changes tomorrow. I also think that as a coach you have to take the upcoming matches into consideration, but in the end, as I always say, I live in the moment. I don't think about the past or the future. Of course you have to make a rotation in this game. Yes, on Robert, he could be there against Inter. He's doing well and progressing well. He's doing much better than we thought, but we have to wait and see. We'll know he's a professionalism. We know his professionalism, and he might be there on Tuesday. Just like I told you guys a few seconds ago on the injury report, he will be in the squad list for Inter. Whether or not he starts on the starting 11 or the bench is kind of where the question mark comes in. And finally, he was asked how to improve on set pieces and how to minimize the amount of chances we give away and the amount of goals we score. I can see from set pieces, look, we can defend much better than we already do. And that concluded Hansi Flick's press conference reaction ahead of the match against Real Valladolid tomorrow. Let's now get into the lineup prediction. We'll start with the manager, of course, Hansi Flick. I'm gonna try my best to predict this lineup. It's going to be damn near impossible to predict. Of course, there's 100% going to be rotation. The question is how much? A little bit, medium, a lot, or the whole team. I think that Flick will select this lineup on the screen right now with Wojciech Szczesny in goal, a back four of Eric Garcia, Ronald Araujo, Pau Kubarsi, and Gerard Martin, midfield three of De Jong, Gavi, and Fermin Lopez, and a front three of Ferran Torres, Pau Victor, and Ansu Fati. So from the starting 11, you have of course Kubarsi starting, you have Frankie De Jong starting, you have Ferran, and you have Szczesny technically. So four starters. I think he will rotate 6 players. Of course, some rotate 5 players against Mallorca. Here is just one extra. I don't think he'll play Ter Stegen. I think that he'll play Ter Stegen once the league is won. I think since we're still in the fight for the league, I think he will stick with Szczesny. I think playing, of course, Eric Garcia at right back is going to be crucial for him to get used to that position ahead of the Inter Milan game. Araujo and Kubarsi at center back. Of course, Inigo, one yellow card away from suspension. Don't want to risk it. Jordan Martin at left back. Midfield 3, of course, Gavi's one yellow card away from suspension. He needs to be very, very careful. I think he will stick with De Jong because, of course, he rested Gavi last time. So I don't think he will rest De Jong this time. For a minute in the 10, of course, we want to keep Olmo nice and fit because he's injury prone. You have to, of course, wrap up Raphinha and Lamine. So Pau Victor and Ansu comes in because they don't have any other forward. I think Ferran Torres will play because I know that Ferran Torres has been tired recently. He's been playing quite a few minutes, but he should be a bit more fresh than Lamine and Raphinha since he hasn't been a squad player since Lewandowski got injured. Since Lewandowski got injured, of course, we've only played played Celta Vigo where he got injured. Then we played, of course, Mallorca, Madrid, and Inter. So only 3 games in a row where Fernandes starts. I think he's, of course, up to level fitness-wise to do this game. So I'm expecting 6 rotations from Hansi Flick, and this is not something he will select for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think Flick will go with. Now I'm going to show you guys my lineup, what I would do if I was the Barcelona coach. Of course, I made quite a few more changes than Hansi Flick has. My lineup is on the screen for you right now. I've gone with Szczesny in goal, a back 4 of Eric Garcia, Araujo, Christensen, and Hector Ford. A midfield 3 of Gavi, Pablo Torre, Fermin Lopez. A front 3 of Tony Fernandez, Pau Victor, and also Fati. I've rested everyone. I'm only reason why I'm playing Eric Garcia was going to play this game. I'm playing Eric Garcia at right back, so I really want him to. I was focusing on, of course, Eric can play at center back. You can put Eric Garcia at center back, then Hector Ford right back, and then Jordan Martin at left back to have, a full rotation. But I really want Eric Garcia to play this game at right back, get some more minutes under his belt for that game to, of course, prepare for the Inter Milan game. So with him playing right back, I had nobody at center back apart from Araujo, so I have put him in this game. I think he will be crucial for that Inter game. Of course, he probably won't start the game, but I think he will be crucial for that game, so I really want him not to get injured, so I have hesitantly put him at right back. I brought in Hector Ford. Jordan Martin's just too ass, man. I just don't want to see him anymore. Christensen at center back. I think this will be a great game for him to start and get some minutes. Midfield, of course, pretty unbalanced. Gavi in the 6th, Pablo Torre in the 8th, Fermin Lopez in the 10. No physicality in that midfield whatsoever, maybe apart from Gavi a little bit, but ayo, I don't care. Front 3, Tony Fernandez on the wing, Pau Victor, Ansu. I don't want to even risk Ferran Torres at this point as well. I have gone full Hail Mary. If you want me to put Eric Garcia center back, Ford right back, and Jordan Martin left back, wouldn't mind it, but I just have a Jordan Martin agenda, and I would still say with Szczesny as well. With goalkeepers, they don't really need rest; they need to have that awareness and sharpness as well. Unless Szczesny comes to me and says he's tired or whatever, then I would stick with him in goal. But this would be the lineup that I would select for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know if you have to pick my lineup or Flick's lineup. Time now for my score prediction. What do I believe the result will be in this match? I've gone with a near win for Barcelona by 2-1, just because I think that Flick will pick a fairly stronger team than mine anyways. We have to realize that, of course, we're coming to this game. This is a dead rubber. We're still in the league title race. Losing this game or drawing this game would be not catastrophic. But okay, a loss would be catastrophic, but a draw would be very, very detrimental, especially with us only having maybe a game to spare with Real Madrid. But I think Flick's mindset is going to be, look, the Clasico is going to be the decider regardless, so might as well just bin this game off. They're the worst team in the league. Even our second string team should be able to complete with them. I see the stat that Barcelona have not won a game by more than 1 goal in quite some time now. You look at our last few games, 3-3 draw, 3-2 against Madrid, 1-0 only against Mallorca, 4-3 against Celta, 3-1 loss to Dortmund. So we haven't won a game by more than 1 goal in quite some time, even though we're scoring goals, 4 against Celta, 3 against Inter, 3 against Madrid. So I think this will be a tighter game than expected. I can definitely see a draw being a very, very likely scenario if like the play picks my lineup and just goes full hell rotation. But with the rotation expected, all eyes on Inter game. I don't mind if we, draw this game. Of course, a loss is absolutely not on the table whatsoever, but a draw I can understand. But I'm expecting Barcelona to hopefully win this game very, very narrowly, and has decided to pick a 2-1 scoreline in the favor of the Blaugrana. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think the scoreline will be. So that was a match preview for Real Valladolid versus Barcelona in La Liga. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course in the comments down below as well, let me know your thoughts on everything we did discuss. The main thing I want to first see, of course, is your score prediction, and secondly, and probably most importantly, on those lineups. Firstly, would you pick my lineup or Flick's lineup? What do you think Flick will go with? What would you go with? If you're the manager, leave me all your thoughts down below, and of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the live watch along. Set the reminder on the screen and come and join me and watch the game with me for watching after the match by my match review. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Big game ahead. Let's try, of course, to have somewhat of a win heading into the League Clasico, where, of course, we do not have to go out there and win the game, but hopefully a strong, comfortable win in this match, as it should be. Take care and força Barca.